the United States will withdraw.
Just days after former President Donald Trump announced he was pulling out of the Paris Agreement, one U.S. state governor took climate concerns into his own hands. On June 6, 2017, California Governor Jerry Brown met with Chinese President Xi Jinping, paving the way for a partnership that would officially launch 2 years later, the California-China Climate Institute.
When I met with President Xi several years ago, it was very clear to both of us that climate change was something that affected California, China, America, the whole world.
The California-China Climate Institute is headquartered at the University of California, Berkeley, and partners with Tsinghua University in Beijing. With China and the U.S. topping the world on carbon emissions, the Institute's executive director says both must lead.
U.S. and China play such a huge role in the actual deployment of the climate solutions. And by working together, it will help bring down the cost of renewables, it will bring down the cost of batteries and other technologies.
With China targeting the year 2060 to become carbon neutral, Dai believes one key area California can help with is electric vehicles. The state's governor, Gavin Newsom, recently announced one of the country's most aggressive green transportation efforts, requiring by 2035 all new cars sold in California to be zero emission.
China is the largest EV market, so I think this is really good time that we are able to offer some of our experiences to potentially help China in accelerating this kind of transition to net zero.
Experts at Berkeley and Beijing work jointly through 3 pillar programs: climate policy research, leadership dialogue, and training programs. Some hot areas of research include carbon capture, pricing, and storage. And while California leads in some areas, Executive Director Dai says there are plenty of areas where California can learn from China too.
China does have a more efficient and fast-moving decision-making mechanism at the national level compared to how we get the decisions made in the US. They do have this kind of pilot projects and pilot programs, different topics on climate and environment that gives a lot of incentives and authority for Chinese subnationals to move ahead of the national agenda.
California also carved its own green path under the Trump administration, which never aimed to make the U.S. carbon neutral. Although President Biden ran on a platform of making the U.S. carbon neutral by 2050, California already announced 2 years ago that it aimed to reach that target by 2045. Mark News, CGTN, San Francisco.